my name is India Barjanier, and this is my final review for Architecture 101. At the beginning, we did contour drawings of certain hand gestures and placements that focused on proportional relationships, form, contour, and other aspects of the 18 hands. Then, we worked on translating those drawings into 2- and 3-dimensional objects. Using gauge wire, we crafted a scale hand that matched one of our chosen 18. Since this project overall was indeed the most challenging for myself, my wire hand is more abstract than exactly representational, so creating a more concrete shadow of a hand is more pronounced. Which leads me into the next investigation. We were tasked to see how our models influence light, so I rendered 2 drawings of my wire hand to examine and catalog its impact under a light source. We continued our drawings to the next exercise and created regulating lines to envelop our drawings and correctly show the positioning of our bounding box. Continuing this practice and investigation of figure-to-field relationships extended my ability and thought process of the use of thumbnails and diagramming as a meaningful part of our design work. Then we started the actual construction of the models. We began to break down our structures into pieces that we would eventually assemble. Using a combination of basswood pieces, we started at the joint construction and gradually worked toward the rest of the bounding box. After the joint construction, we lessened the pace of assembly and made virtual models. Using Rhino, we illustrated our construction through the build of the actual structure. Planning the assembly in sequence and constructing the box virtually both provided efficiency and a sense of quality of artisanship to the actual construction process. On the right-hand side are photographs of the assembly construction, and on the left-hand side is a virtual animation of the assembly construction. The glossary terms that I have kept in mind throughout these projects are balance, angle, eye level, fixed viewpoint, and focal viewpoint. Since the angle and balance of my bounding box were important for the placement perspective of my structure in space, I wanted to stress those terms. Since the term fixed viewpoint is a description of what the artist views, I wanted to explain my perspective from what I see from what's understood, or the focal viewpoint, or what is considered the center of attention or activity. We continued with virtual creation in Rhino with cladding. I attempted different arrangements of cladding to find the optimal perspective for my hand, and eventually landed on this. Instead of having windows in my cladding sheets, I left certain portions of the cladding completely open to better see my perspective. On the left is a 2D account of my bounding box that allowed me to evaluate the composition of form and space, and on the right is the virtual form with the hand. Then we virtually positioned our bounding boxes. We created a space in a 10 by 10 by 10 cube, and my box sits on 2 pedestals in the center of a room that only opens on a cornered wall opening that is directly positioned in my fixed point of view. On the left-hand side is the full construction of my bounding box with cladding, and on the right-hand side is a brief animation that shows the entry and perspectives one may see in the virtual room. There are 6 separate photographs that show the full construction of the bounding box and 6 separate angles that the light source may show. The cladding is held together with thin red electrical wire, and I'm especially proud of the final product and its positioning in space. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you all have a great day.